Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander Score Studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, I've got an exciting one for you. We've got the zero draw step deck. Can you win without drawing those cards? Again, draw steps are one of those things that, well, you kind of expect to have, but with this deck, with this commander, Damia, Sage of Stone, we do not. A 4/4 Gorgon Wizard with Death Touch for 7 mana in Sultai. It says, skip your draw step, and my goodness, again, is that a downside? But there's an upside with this commander that makes up for that. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have fewer than 7 cards in hand, draw cards equal to the difference. So again, skipping your draw step, making it so that you don't need those cards actually. And actually, we've got another way to maybe do that. We'll talk about here in a little bit. We can get a lot of extra value out of this commander by basically controlling our hand. Essentially, if we are at 7, we're never drawing, and that's not good. But if we are, down to, say, 0, we get to replenish a brand new hand. This is a commander that can cycle through a deck in absolutely no time, can do some really exciting, crazy things with the hand, the graveyard, the discarding. If you're interested in this deck, make sure you check out that card list link in the description below. With all that said, let's jump into the tactics. First up, let's talk about some outlets. And when I'm talking about outlets, I'm talking about discard outlets like Cabal Initiate, a 2/1 human warlock for 2 mana in black that says, hey, discard a card, give it lifelink until end of turn. Also, it can get slightly larger. Sure, if we've got Threshold. Great, cool. What matters is that we can give this lifelink as many times as we want. Again, that is a repeat discard effect for free. We're like, okay, discard a card, discard a card, discard a card. Now, giving it extra lifelink does not really help us. What it does help with is controlling our hand size. Right before our turn going, I discard down to 0, and then essentially, okay, my commander says, you know what, draw back up to 7, so we can get rid of whatever cards we don't need. We have a lot of other examples of this, so I'm going to go through them pretty quickly, though. Iron Shield Elf, a 3/1 that says discard a card, it gains indestructible turn, tap it, so it's one that can protect itself, which is huge. Again, the effect is nice that it protects itself. We don't really care that much about, actually, the effect. We care that we can actually discard it. Noose Constrictor, discard a card, ++1 until end of turn. We can pump this a lot. It can be a finisher for us, too. It's got reach, it's a good blocker. But again, what matters is it's a free discard outlet. Owner's Prowler, 3/1, flying, discard a card, gets -2, -0 until end of turn. Any player may activate this ability. So yeah, other players can shrink it down if they really want to. But yeah, we just care about, well, the free discard nature. Wild Mongrel, again, exact same thing as our Noose Constrictor, basically, except it doesn't have reach. And we can also change its color. Cool. Zombie Infestation, this one's a bit different. Discard 2 cards, make a 2/2 black zombie creature token. So again, this is one where we can discard down. We can get creature tokens out of it. It does cost, a 2-for-1 discard, but that's completely fine with us. Cephalid Ink Shrouder, 3 mana, discard a card. Can't be targeted spells or abilities, and it's unblockable this turn. It's a 2/1, so I mean, it's not going to be hitting all that hard, but that's okay. Again, being able to give it Shroud for protection is quite nice. Patchwork Gnomes, protect it by discarding a card to regenerate it. Prognostic Sphinx, a 3/5 flyer, discard a card. It gains Hexproof till end turn, tap it, so again, another way to protect it too. On top of that, if it attacks, we scry 3. Some nice card selection there. My favorite, though, Scourge Familiar. I love you. 3/2 flying Phyrexian for 5 mana in black. Discard a card. Add a black mana. Now, all of a sudden, we're just getting a bunch of free mana out of this. What's not to love about that? Now, chucking cards into our graveyard is nice with this commander, but actually, we can actually make use out of those cards too. And we'll talk about ways to, gain benefits from discarding as well. But still, Sky Shroud Ranger is a great way to say, you know what? Let's start taking some of those extra lands in our hand and just throwing them into play instead. Tap, choose a land from your hand, put it right into play. Only at sorcery speed, though. That's okay. Paducah Gardener, no limitation there, but if we do control 10 or more lands, we flip it, and then we can actually make giant elementals with it too, which is quite nice. Llanowar Scout, very simple, very effective. Tap it a land for your hand on the battlefield. Again, we can do this at instant speed, which is quite nice. Boo-Boo UFO, a 0/4 flyer that says, well, again, exact same thing. Tap it a land for your hand on the battlefield. We can also make it have base power equal to the towns. We don't really care about towns with this deck, so that's fine. Scaled Herbalist, again, exact same thing. Tap it a land for your hand on the battlefield. And then also Prismatic Undercurrents. When it enters the battlefield, select for X basic lands, the number of colors among permanents you control. Again, that can be quite nice. That can be up to 3. Reveal them, put in your hand, then shuffle. Most importantly, though, you may play additional land on each of your turns. Getting extra lands into play again when we're refilling our hand again and again and again can really get us ahead of our opponents. And also, well, can play into our next tactic with Landfall. Floral Evoker is a great one. 2/3 Snake Druid for 3 mana. Whenever a land you control enters, get a counter on this creature. This will become insanely massive in absolutely no time. But most importantly, though, by paying a single green mana, discarding a creature card, return target land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Again, by discarding lands into our graveyard, we are able to then discard creatures later to then get them right back out, which is absolutely amazing and incredible. Retreat to Coral Helm. This one's so good, especially in combination with those little dorks that can tap to get lands for hand on the battlefield. And maybe even an infinite combo can happen with any bounce lands that we'll talk about here in a little bit. Whenever a land you control enters, choose 1. You may tap or untap to our creature, and it's got Scry 1. This can be used offensively, defensively, again, combo. Again, just literally a effect where we can just say, okay, drop every single land from your hand right onto the battlefield with any of those tabbed creatures, or we can Scry 1 with this if we need that card selection. Retreat to Hagra. Whenever a land in control enters on your control, we're going to get, you know what's going to happen with this? We're going to give a creature Death Touch, okay? +1/+0 Death Touch till end of turn. That can be a great effect for us. Even like some fun combat tricks, with those, hey, tap, put a land for hand on the battlefield, combat trick, all of a sudden, Death Touch creature takes something out. Or also, just more simply, hey, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. A great draining effect for us. Moving on, Zimone Mystery Unraveler. Whenever a land you control enters, manifest dread for the first time it's resolved this turn. Otherwise, turn a permanent control face up. So yeah, basically, 2 lands equals, well, cheat something into play, and then all of a sudden go, oh yeah, flip it over now, too. Then we've got Tatio with Benthic Druid. So much value to be had from this. Whenever a land enters battlefield under control, you gain 1 life and you draw a card. Yeah, what's not to love about that? So much card advantage to be had out of this. Moving on, though, we've got a lot of other landfall triggers, including ones that make tokens for us, including Tireless Tracker. Land controls enters what we're going to investigate, making clue tokens. By sacrificing clues, get counters on this creature. Chocobo Racetrack. Land enters, make 2/2 birds. They get larger, well, whenever lands enter. Elfsworn Giant. Very simple, very effective. Lands enter, make a 1/1 Elf Warrior creature token. Engineering, we've got ways to make 2/2 robots now. We can also warp it in if we need to get it in for cheaper. Spore Mound, 1/1 Saplings is what this is going to make. Zendikar's Royal makes elemental tokens. And then Rampaging Balos, well, it just trumps all these and says, hey, you know what? Land enters, make some 4/4 beasts. Some absolutely massive creatures. Speaking of massive, though, Avenger of Zendikar enters, make a 0/1 for each land you control, which again is going to be an insane amount because we've got so many ways to get lands into play. We aren't even done with those just yet. On top of those, whenever a land enters, get a counter each plant you control, so this can become absolutely massive. Our team of plants can dominate the game. Speaking of other ways to get lands in play, let's talk about some mass return plays. Well, lands and more, I should say. Aftermath Analyst enters the battlefield, mill 3. Nice. Fill that graveyard even more by paying 4. We sacrifice it, bring all lands back from our graveyard to the battlefield. Tapped. Yeah, that's going to be quite a lot. Splendid Reclamation can, kind of cut that a little shorter by just saying, hey, you know what? Let's just bring all those lands back from the graveyard to the battlefield. Tapped. Mending of Dominaria has a couple of steps to it. Basically, we're going to mill 2, send top 2 cards to library in our graveyard, return a creature card from our graveyard back to our hand if we need to. Great, cool, good for us. By the way, also, though, hey, return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield on that 3rd lore counter. Lovely. We also have ways to, well, get some creatures back, too. Finale of Eternity. Destroy up to 3 target creature with toughness X or less. Again, we're going to have so much mana, we can put a lot into that X. If X is 10 or more, every single creature card from our graveyard comes onto the battlefield. That's going to be quite a lot. Grimoire of the Dead. Play with all the creatures, though. Pay 1, tap, discard a card, put a study counter on it. Again, discarding is not a bad thing for this deck. Tap, remove 3 study counters from it, and sacrifice it. All creature cards from all graveyards come to play under your control. Basically, Rise of the Dark Realms. Lich of Knight's Conquest, such a good card. Sorcery for 5 mana, sacrifice any artifacts, enchantments, and/or tokens. Turn that many creature cards from your graveyard back to the battlefield. Again, all those token generators that we just talked about for landfall triggers, sacrifice those little things and say, oh, hey, bring back all the creatures. Thank you. Speaking of all the creatures, Twilight's Call, we can cast it instant speed for 2 extra mana if we want to. Everyone brings back every creature card from their graveyard to the battlefield. Again, this is a play that we make when we are really in control of graveyards because, well, we're going to be churning through our deck in no time. Next up, Value Town. Curative Mystery is such a good card. Whenever you cycle or discard another card, you scry 1 with this. You can also cycle away if you need to, but when this is in play, all of a sudden now, we really set ourselves up. Just think about those cards earlier that I talked about, the outlet cards. Okay, discard a card. Oh, scry 1. Okay, see what we want. Do we want that on top? No, we don't want it on top. Okay, we basically just start curating the top of our library, essentially, before our next massive draw, thanks to our commander. River Kelpie, hey, whenever it or another permanent enters from my graveyard, draw a card. We talked about all those ways that we mass reanimate things essentially, or those just individual reanimates. Yeah, or getting lands back. We are able to now all of a sudden go, hey, draw a lot of cards from this. Oh, and by the way, if a player casts a spell from a graveyard, we also draw a card, and this persists too. Lovely. The Get Rog Monster, love you. 6/6 Frog for 5 mana and Golgari, Death Touch. Game your upkeep, sacrifice unless you sacrifice a land. Not a big deal at all. Again, we've got so many lands in play. Oh, and by the way, you play additional land on each of your turns. Great, even more landfall triggers. Oh, and by the way, on top of that, whenever one of our land cards are putting grave from anywhere, draw a card, including discarding them from your hand. Yeah, lovely. Bonnie Paul Clear Cutter, a 6/5 with reach, enters the battlefield. We put out Bow, a giant ox that's going to have power and toughness equal to the lands we control. It's going to be absolutely massive. Probably the biggest creature on the board when it comes down. On top of that, whenever you attack, you draw a card, play a land card from your hand or graveyard on the battlefield. We're always going to have resources for that. Null Profusion. This is the spiciest card in the deck. Kind of like a second copy of our commander in a way. In a weird way, I would say, actually. Skip your draw step. I mean, I guess it copies that part, right? Enchant for 6 mana. Whenever you play a card, draw a card, your maximum hand size is 2. So, Megan, maximum hand size is not a big deal with this commander because we are going to be going, draw, thanks to our commander. We're going to be playing a lot of cards with this deck as well. We're going to be drawing a lot of cards. And again, we're already skipping our draw step thanks to our commander, so we don't care that we're already skipping our draw step too. Thought Reflection, though, enchant for 7 mana. You draw a card, draw 2 cards instead. Yeah, doubling up our card draw is absolutely incredible. Thanks to our commander going back up to 14 every turn. Lovely. Now we talked about our game plan, though. Let's talk about some ways to throw a wrench into our opponent's game plans. First up, Pest Infestation. Again, X mana spells are amazing in this deck because we have access to so much mana. Access to so much mana. Create X artifacts and or enchantments. Create twice X 1/1 black-green pest creature tokens. When they die, we gain life. Then we get Nature's Claim, very simple, very effective. Instant speed, 1 mana. Get rid of an artifact or enchantment. They gain 4 life. Okay, cool, good for you. Don't care. Death's Trophy, very effective. Destroy any permanent opponent controls. Control may search their library for a basic land from the battlefield, then shuffle. Yeah, we'll replace Massive Thing with a land. Broken Bond. Speaking of lands, though, for artifact or enchantment, we get a land from our hand onto the battlefield. Beast Within, destroy any permanent. Its control makes a 3/3. Yeah, that's well worth it. Archfiend of Ifnir, perhaps the best removal spell for us, essentially. When this is in play, whenever we cycle or discard another card, -1/-1 counter on all of our opponent's creatures. Yeah, again, literally any of our outlets that we have in play are just like, oh, yeah, hey, you want to get creatures in play? Cool, all right. Discard. They're all gone. Okay, good luck playing any creatures ever again, because I'm going to have a full grip thanks to my commander, and unless your creature has more than 7 toughness, it's always going to go away. Even if it doesn't go away, it's going to go away in 2 turns. Grappling Kraken, a very good one as well. Whenever a land you control enters, tap down a creature opponent controls, put a stun counter on it. Such a good card to lock down creatures with a landfall deck like this. River's Rebuke, reset an opponent's board, basically. Bring back all their non-land permanents back to their hand. Finally, Azuri's Predation. For each creature opponents control, make a 4/4, and then all of a sudden they all fight. So basically, any mid-sized to small creatures are all gone for your opponents, and you get that many 4/4s staying in play. Finally, though, when it comes to ramp, first up, there's Wayfarer's Bauble, pay 2 tap, sacrifice, get a basic land into play, tapped, of course. Get more lands into play with Growth Spiral, draw 1, put a land from your hand right onto the battlefield. Rampant Growth, very simple, very effective. 2 mana, get a land from your library right on the battlefield, tapped. Basic land, I should say. Scourge Tribe Elder Steve, exact same thing, but on a creature. Cultivate, 3 mana, get 2 basics, 1 to play, tap, 1 into your hand. Cycle Renewal, sacrifice 1 land, get 2 basics into play, tapped. Then we've got Roiling Regrowth, does the exact same thing. Harrow does it even better, though. Sacrifice 1 land, 2 basics into play, untapped, so you can utilize that mana right away. Search for Tomorrow, suspend 2 for a single green mana, a great turn 1 play. When it is played, get a basic into play, untap. Swing Druid, basically Roiling Regrowth on a body, ETB, sacrifice 1 land, get 2 into play, tapped. Again, keep in mind all these extra lands coming into play, all the landfall triggers, so lovely. And finally, Eureka Moment, draw 2, land from your hand right on the battlefield at instant speed. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. Make sure you comment below with your thoughts on this one. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.